Here's a segment from a recent Gun Talk radio episode. You can listen to all the Gun Talk radio podcasts however you tune in, or check out guntalk.com for more. At the Crimson Trace booth, and it is a real pleasure to bring Jack Oller, who joins us from Crimson Trace. Jack, thanks for your hospitality, man.
Tom, thanks for stopping by the booth. Yeah, we're excited to have you guys hang out with us today. We've got a lot of exciting new products to talk about. I want to hear what you've been interested in, and I can't wait to tell all your viewers what's been going on.
There's some interesting things. There's some weird things in some of the booths. I mean, every year there's weird stuff.
There's always at least one very interesting thing,
right? And a lot of times you don't see it the next year because it went away.
That's right. It comes long enough to tease us, and like, okay.
Sometimes people stretch way too far out there, and you go, yeah, maybe in 10 or 15 years that's going to work, but not now.
A lot of concepts get shown out here.
All right, so Crimson Trace, a lot of people still know it only as a laser company. Right? Not true. It hasn't been true for several years now. Why don't you run through, and then we got to hit them fast. Give us some ideas of some of the new things you guys are doing.
For sure. So, real quick, lasers is still a big part of Crimson Trace. I mean, since '94, we've been doing the instinctive activation laser sights, but we're working on becoming a complete aiming solutions brand. I need to aim my firearm. You come to Crimson Trace now. We've got 50 new scopes. I've got 11.
Wait, back up. 50 new scopes?
50 new scopes. We launched these about 8 months ago, or 8 months now. Our new Hardline and Brushline. We actually just got the NRA Golden Bullseye Optic of the Year award.
Congrats.
For our Brushline Pro 4-16.
Okay.
So we're doing something halfway right, I think. And Brushline for kind of hunting oriented rifle scopes, and then Hardline for that tactical competition style. Though there is a lot of flip flop between the two.
And a lot of hunters want to have all the features that the competition or law enforcement folks have, the tactical guys, and that becomes a choice of, because there are real differences between those,
right?
And you need to understand that, because if you bought the wrong one, you could be disappointed. So, do you have help for that on figuring out which one you need on your website?
Yeah, no. So the website's super detailed. We've got a lot of great, information there. Of course, we love working with guys like you, Tom. You always seem to steer people in the right direction.
I have no idea what I'm talking about. I just make noise.
I better go then. But our customer service team, very talented group of guys. They're shooters. They're hunters. They're gun guys too, and gals. And they're good folks up there. They'll take care of you. But the website, great media sources like you, lots of online resources, and I mean, there's information out there.
Okay, so you got all these scopes. What's happening on the laser world? I mean, we go all the way back to your roots.
Yeah, so the Laserguard family is, one of the, the core parts of Crimson Trace. I mean, pretty much every firearm that's out there is a laser sight, Crimson Trace laser sight for that. So Springfield Armory Hellcat, the Laserguard, is on shelves now.
Oh.
Red and green aiming dot options.
Oh, nice.
It's got that instinctive activation that put Crimson Trace on the map.
Yeah, so when you pick up the pistol, it just turns on.
No thinking about it. No thinking about, I need to hit this switch and turn it on. Boom, laser sight is on. I love my reds, but the green we've seen steadily is becoming more and more popular. I mean, you definitely get a lot more visibility in bright daylight. And I'll be honest, there is a cool factor too. I like the green. I mean, it looks clean, so.
It does, but I mean, we ought to explain. I mean, I know we've talked about it, but just for those who are saying, well, how do they make the green brighter? The green actually isn't brighter.
No.
It's just that the physical, the human anatomy in the eye is such that we see green brighter. It's the weirdest thing. I mean, and you can look at it and go, no, the green's brighter. Go, no, it's just the way your eye works. It sees green better.
Absolutely. And we spend a lot of time making sure the texturing on the Laserguard family matches the fit of the firearm too. So you look at the Laserguard on the Hellcat, we've got the Max 9, the Shield Plus is in the pipe. We're looking at a month or two out. That'll be on shelves. But, we want it to look like a seamless part of your firearm. It wraps around the trigger guard, does not get in the way for draws. It's very, very, aesthetically pleasing, and
nobody wants a wart on their pistol.
No, absolutely not. It's like, man, that gun's hard to look at. I'm going to go ahead and leave that in the safe, right?
Yeah, so exactly.
No, it needs to do what it's supposed to do and look good doing it.
So where's Crimson Trace located these days?
So we still have the factory in Wilsonville, Oregon.
Okay.
They are still churning out the laser sights and lots of other products. A lot of us work out of Columbia, Missouri, but we're a little spread out now. But Wilsonville, Oregon is still going strong, and
of course, with the COVID thing, we've kind of figured out it doesn't really matter where you are these days.
No, I mean, as long as the product ends up on online and physical retail stores, people are happy.
Okay, that brings me to a question. one of the problems we're having now is availability of product. You know, we hear about supply line, we hear about all the problems. The shelves are empty. How are you guys doing at getting product out?
So we're doing good. One thing I always like to remind people is if you go in a store and you don't see CT, go talk to the guy at the counter. Like, they can order you Crimson Trace to that storefront in a day or two, right? So, no, Crimson Trace is actually doing really well when it comes to having the products that people want.
Right.
And always go talk to your dealer. They'll get you taken care of. They want to get you stuff.
And if you're a gun store listening to this, there's no reason for you to not have the Crimson Trace.
No, absolutely, especially the universal stuff. I mean, that's easy, right? Yeah. I mean, a lot of railed pistols, like that, too easy, right? I mean, there's scopes. I mean, the red dots. I mean, those are
sure.
I mean, those go on everything now.
What are you seeing in red dot? Because I mean, we've been talking about this for years now. We kept predicting that people are going to be putting them on their carry guns.
Well, I think the proof is in the gun manufacturers. I mean, name me a new pistol manufacturer that isn't either just doing optics cut as a standard or having that as an option. You know, I mean, that's
good point.
I mean, I think the proof is right there. People, at the very least, want the option to put a red dot sight on their pistol, whether they like to stick to irons or not. I think the proof is right there.
No, a good point. And everywhere I go, I'm seeing, every new pistol is set up for optics.
Yeah,
it's just
exactly.
Like, in fact, to the point where I'm sure that if somebody brought one out that wasn't, people are going to go, well, what are you guys thinking?
I honestly think you're going to lose key sales, because there are going to be a lot of people now that they're like, this is an optics cut. I don't want to spend $150 getting it milled. I'm going to go to a guy that already is optics cut.
It actually does save you about $150.
It does.
I hadn't thought about it that way, but
it really
is. $150 free upgrade.
I mean, that's the average cost to mill out a slide.
Right.
I shop around quite a bit. I have some, old iron sight guns that I'm trying. CT red dots. I've got a couple stacked in my office, and they need to go on something. But, it adds up pretty quick if you got 5 or 6 extra old iron sight guns like me that you want to put a red dot on.
How do you decide? Because you have different. I don't know if I should say it this way. Different price points in your scope line.
Yeah.
How does somebody figure out what's the right one for him?
So the real question is you have to ask yourself, what features do I want in my scope? And that's really what sets that, is like, I need to have parallax. I need to have a large objective. I need to have, illumination in my scope.
First focal plane, second
focal versus second focal plane. Okay. Like, what is it you need to do what you want to do? And that's going to, the more premium the feature, the price goes up. So I need a scope that has illumination and parallax and zero stops, and it needs to have,
frankly, it's become more difficult. I mean, we have a lot more choices, but it used to be, I'll get a 3 to 9.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
all you can do, right?
I mean, there's so many different kinds of magnification ranges now. Reticle is one of the biggest things now. Like, what reticle works for me best? I mean, we have tons of reticle options in the new scope line. That really is one of the biggest factors in my eye. It's one of my biggest decisions when I think about it. Like, if I see a scope that has everything I want, but the reticle isn't right there, I'm not going to get it. So that's a big factor for me.
It actually, I'm just thinking about it, requires the consumer to do some work on his or her part.
Yeah.
Like I said, it used to be easy. I mean, I'm going to get a 3 to 9. I'm going to get a fixed power, whatever it was way back. And now it's like, okay, the consumer, need to do some work to figure this thing out. I mean, it's great that we have all these choices.
Right.
And the reality is, optics are simply better.
They are.
I mean, they are not just a little bit. They're a lot better than they used to be.
Oh, my image quality. If you look at a scope made 20 years ago now, it's like this is a box TV from the 40s. Like it's. I mean, like
standard definition.
All the like ELD glass is like a standard now. All Crimson Trace scopes have that ELD extreme low dispersion glass.
Right.
That's for your premium light transmission. I mean, all CT scopes are looking at least 90% light transmission. But image quality is huge, but like you said, the days of going into a storefront and say, put a scope on this rifle, and they just grab a 3 to 9, that's over now. And consumers, they have to be conscientious about what it is they're putting on their guns, and that's great because, like you said, we have all these options. We're not going, we're only going forward too.
Right, and you offer a lot of help, online. And now here's a question for you, and I don't mean to blindside you with this, but if somebody just says, I'm befuddled, is there somebody I can call at Crimson Trace and get an idea? Do you have that set up, or is it primarily
I was hoping
online?
to offer you a job, Tom, and you could be that person.
I can do that as long as I have no responsibility, and you're not holding me responsible for giving wrong answers.
Okay. Well, in that case, we'll again, our customer service, like I said, they're enthusiasts. Actually, everyone that works at CT in some way, shape, or form loves the outdoors. Hunting, shooting, fishing. I mean, it's almost a requirement to work there.
I'm noticing something here.
Yeah.
As we're talking, you refer to it as CT. Are we going to see a change in the name at some point?
No. It's always Crimson Trace. It's when you say Crimson Trace as often as I do, inevitably it gets shortened. No, Crimson Trace will always be Crimson Trace.
Okay.
CT, you'll see the CT bug logo, as we call it, on a lot of branding and packaging and marketing, of course. But no, it's always going to be Crimson Trace.
Very good. Tell you what, quick break here. We're at the Crimson Trace, the CT booth here at SHOT Show. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Appreciate you letting us hang out at your place.
Thank you, Tom.
All right, back with you. We're at the SHOT Show in Las Vegas. SHOT Show 2022. Still weird to say that. We're at the Crimson Trace booth, and as happens around here, we sometimes have to call an audible, and we're going to keep Jack Oller here with us from Crimson Trace. Jack, appreciate you letting us hang out here. And, since you don't really have anything to do here anyway, right? Except for all the people in your booth, right?
Well, yeah, there's okay, well, we're getting a lot more out there, but I can talk for a little bit more.
Okay. All right. I was talking about all the stuff you've been doing. We really didn't get into all the new stuff.
No,
let's go there.
We have two very exciting new products for Crimson Trace. The first one is kind of my favorite. We're calling it the R.I.G, the Rapid Illumination Grip. What we did is we took a 500 lumen weapon light and we integrated it into an angled foregrip. So very exciting new product. It's
for an AR.
ARs. It's also legal for AR pistols since it's angled.
Okay.
But good for rifles and carbines too. Fully ambidextrous. Comes with 2 rechargeable batteries. So you
could pop a rechargeable battery out, and put another one in.
You can hot swap that like that. You don't have to remove the device from the rifle either. Adjustable lumen output, and you're looking at about an hour run time at the peak 500 lumens there.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah. So and you got 2 hours ready to go with the 2 batteries there. So that's one of my favorite new products. We're looking at on shelves in stores this February.
The R.I.G.
The R.I.G. Rapid Illumination Grip.
Okay.
So a lot of people.
Price on this thing?
Out the door cost just over $150.
That's insane. I honestly thought it was going to be like $750. When you showed it to me yesterday, I'm going to look at it and going, yeah, that's going to be pricey. That's because it blends into. It looks like it's OEM.
Yeah, and
from the gun maker. It just fits in perfectly with the AR.
I don't want to speculate that too much, but I think there's a chance you might see Crimson Trace rigs on guns in the future. So I'm going to leave it at that.
So you got it's a light.
It's a weapon light, 500 lumens. I lost my train of thought here. But fully ambidextrous. It's got the adjustable lumen output, and it has an optional remote switch as well. And I mean, it's just if people like angled foregrips, they like weapon lights. Let's put it together.
Would you describe the angle of the beam as kind of wide flood or like tight spot? Or?
It's pretty tight. You do have a little bit of spread, inevitably, of course.
Sure.
But first situation is going to be home defense. A lot of people are looking to the AR pistol for your home defense firearm these days.
And you need a light on that.
You have to have a light on there. Yeah. In my opinion, you have to find a way to put a white light on a firearm now.
I have no idea how you guys did this for $150. I mean, I swear I looked at it, and I'm not kidding you. I'm not blowing smoke. I mean, I looked at it and thought, yeah, $750. This is going to be pricey.
Well, I do want to say, Tom, you know our products. To say that we test these aggressively and have high quality standards is putting it lightly.
That's a nice way of saying we beat the crap out of it.
That's a nice way of saying we beat the crap out of it. That's exactly right. No, it is hands down my favorite new product that we have this year. Not to say that the scopes aren't fun and the red dots aren't fun, but yeah, it's just cool. I mean, I love good ideas. I love when I can reduce the number of accessories on my firearm. I know a lot of guys like the angled foregrip, and then they have the light attachment too. Now it's one. It less things to snag on for my gun. It looks more seamless. It looks everything's integrated.
Right.
It's just a really, really exciting new product.
All right. So what else you got?
So the next thing is the H.R.O. We're liking acronyms these days, it seems like.
Guess.
So the H.R.O, the Heavy Recoil Optic. So you saw the RADs and the RADMAX Pro. This is the RADMAX Pro's big brother. It's a closed red dot sight. We basically built a tank. I mean, this is the thing. We put this on an M240 Bravo, and the gun did 5,000 automatic, rounds before it took a dump, and the red dot is like, hey, what's going on here? I'm still good to go. And so 50,000 hour battery life, 3 MOA red aiming dot, and I will say we do have some reticle options in the pipe, so keep an eye out for that. Shake to wick function, and incredible field of view. Like it is super rapid target acquisition and transitions, and we're looking at May-June time frame for product on shelves now.
Okay, price on that?
$479 MSRP.
And this is primarily, an AR?
Yeah, primarily ARs. I am going to be putting it on a shotgun, and I'm going to try to kill a turkey with it. I'm a big turkey hunter. That is my thing.
And when you're shooting like a 3.5-inch mag shotgun, you need all the recoil protection you can get.
So, interestingly enough, the 12 gauge is really not the biggest concern when it comes to recoil.
Really?
You have to think about our perception of recoil and how the optic perceives recoil.
Okay.
And the worst is like the 40 Smith & Wesson subcompact. Like that is the nasty.
So snappy.
You're looking at like 8,000 Gs sometimes for that stuff. But a 12 gauge shotgun, it's really only like 1,000 Gs.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
See that perceived recoil thing.
No, I get that question a lot. It's like, oh, the shotgun, it kicks so hard. And it's like, well, I mean, not to the optic.
I mean, darn, that is really interesting.
Yeah. So, red dots on shotguns, like I'm a huge advocate of that. It allows us to take even, ethical, farther shots on turkeys.
Right.
Pig hunting, this is going to be a great red dot for pig hunting.
Sure.
I love killing pigs. Like I can go shoot pigs every day.
Yeah, you stick this on like a 308 AR, but okay, now we can go to town on it.
Now you can, now instead of a bolt action and, I'm dropping one pig and I'm trying to get on 2 or 3.
Right.
I mean, hitting 5 or 6 in one little go is not that hard. You want to get on a helicopter and shoot them from the air?
You're making me smile here.
Well, Tom, let's go shoot some pigs. Let's go get a helicopter and let's go shoot some pigs in Texas. You want to do that?
Well, I got like 2 more hours on the air and then we can go from there.
All right, we'll leave from here. We'll get on that tomorrow then.
And these days you don't have to go as far to find pigs, that's for sure.
Oh man, they're getting everywhere these days. It's ridiculous. So hey, having another red dot option to get rid of the nuisance pig programs. You know the damage they do to crops.
All right.
And everything.
So Jim's sending me a note. He says, any chance of adding a laser to the rig?
Well, I don't want to speak too soon, but I mean, we're Crimson Trace.
We're not going to close that one out then.
We're Crimson Trace.
Yeah,
so
as in lasers.
You know who we are.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
So light and laser, all in one angle, group 4. Yeah. Oh,
I don't have a time frame for that one, but
I have no knowledge of that, Senator.
There we go. Exactly. There you go. You get it, Tom.
That's right. And you don't quote me on that one. I never said that.
No. But new weapon lights, the H.R.O. I'm super excited for that one. Like I said, May-June time frame for product on shelves. It's I think it's a beefy, it's an aggressive red dot. It's not that heavy, aluminum construction, so it really does not add that much. It looks like it might weigh a lot, but it really does not add that much weight.
And it's I wish I could hold it up here because it's just cool looking.
It is. That actually brings up a good point. The days of just functionality. Nowadays, people require. It needs to look as good as it works. So
it's a good point. And it does. Like I say, it looks as though it was made as part of the original design of the gun. You guys did a terrific job.
Thanks, Tom.
You got good designers and engineers. Always have.
Oh, we have incredibly talented engineers and designers. It's honestly incredible how much they can do in a single year. I'm really excited for all. We have 2 years worth of products that I can't wait for you guys to see down the road here, and I honestly don't know how they do it.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Well, I appreciate it. Again, I thank you for hanging around so we could talk about some of the new stuff as well. What we're going to do is we're going to get together with you, go out and shoot something. You're going to shoot a hog or shoot something, take advantage of some of the optics and the scopes as well as the red dots and everything else you're doing.
Absolutely. Tom, always happy to hang out and talk to you.
The website is?
CrimsonTrace.com.
Oh, God, that's hard.
Oh, I know.
CrimsonTrace.com. All right, that'll work for you.